What's going on, man? It's your boy, Miles Cunningham. I want to take a minute to give respect to the cats that's fucking with me, that's fucking with this channel, that always fucked with me, you know what I'm saying? That always, shouted me out when they saw me on Lucario's live streams or videos or, made comments and stuff. I appreciate it. I'm glad that I'm able to give y'all some game, based on my experiences, based on who I am. You know, Nobody's perfect, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate that y'all fuck with me, cause I fuck with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm always about advancement. I'm always about, just us doing better, you know what I'm saying? And it's not about bitches, and it's not even about MGTOW. Like, you supposed to do better. The only person you supposed to be in competition with is yourself from last year or yourself from a few minutes ago. Like, you're the only competition. You understand? There is no competition. Fuck what anybody tells you. You only competing with yourself. You got a lot of cats. They think about competition and they get all fucked up in the game and they start wasting their time and wasting their energy on another nigga and what another nigga's accomplishing and what another nigga, like, how many subscribers another nigga got or any of that dumb shit. Like, niggas be on that type of shit when it's like, yo, all that energy you putting in, you better off using it to make yourself better. You know what I'm saying? That's the game we talking about. So today I wanted to kind of give y'all some general game as it pertains to a practical way to build wealth before you even move out of your parents' house. Now, I know I'm in my 30s. I'm 37. I'm knocking on 40 already. So I know this don't really apply to cats in my age group. So I'm kind of talking to the dudes that's like still in high school. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of talking to the younger cats. I'm kind of talking to the cats that's still in college. I'm talking to y'all cats really. And where I got this game from was I've seen people do it. Here's what it is. And then the thing is, even though I'm talking to the younger cats, I think there's something to learn for cats in our age range too. And if you want to share this with a younger cat that you know, share it with him. But it's a practical way to build wealth starting off early. You understand? Even if you're leaving out of college with college debt, it's still a cool way. If you set shit up right, it's still a cool way to start building wealth early. You understand? All right. So here's pretty much what it is. So if you're a nigga in high school or you in and this goes for females too, like whoever. But if you're in high school, you're in college, right? And the most important part of this is kind of having an idea of what you're trying to do with your life, because it takes income to make this happen. But like I said, it's practical. It's not nothing that's that's gonna be a trick or any kind of crazy shit like that. Like, it takes time, it takes discipline, it takes focus, it takes, ingenuity, and sometimes it takes sacrifice, right? But here's what it is. So you coming up, you're in high school, you in college or something. What you gotta try to do is you gotta start stacking your bread. You got to start stacking your bread. Figure out whatever the fuck you got to figure out. If you on YouTube making money, do that. If you drop shipping, do that. If you on eBay, do that. If getting online for the Jordans and they're reselling them shits on eBay, do that. Like, do it, but stack bread. If you working at McDonald's, stack bread. No matter what the fuck you're doing, make sure you're doing something that's bringing in some bread, and stack your bread. Don't spend all your money on these hoes. Don't spend all your money, dating and buying clothes and all that shit. Put away, like, set a percentage. You understand? Set a percentage. Life is sometimes easier fucking with percentages. So if you make $200 a week, you say, look, I'm gonna do an 80-20 breakdown. So 20%, I'm always gonna pull out before I even get to spending. I'm gonna pull it out, pause, and put that shit in the bank, right? And what I would suggest you do too is check out this thing called Vanguard. It's Vangard. It's a mutual fund thing where there's no minimum, so you could start with $5. The only thing is, if you don't have five G's in there yet, they charge you like a $20 maintenance fee each year. But it's not that bad if you could start off with basically nothing. You understand? But yeah, it's called Vanguard. Let me just make sure I got the spelling right. I'll put the link in the thing. Yeah, Vanguard, Vangurad. It's a mutual fund. It's a mutual fund holding company. So basically, it's like a savings account, but I don't know if y'all know about regular savings accounts. You only save like 0.006 on your money, and after a year, That's absolutely nothing. But with a Vanguard, you can yield 8% on your money. So that means if you have $100 in there, at the end of the year you get $8. If you have $1,000 in there, at the end of the year you get $80, and so on and so forth. You understand? But the point is, you keep. If anybody don't know mutual funds, a quick lesson on mutual funds is it's a portfolio. It's like a group who manages like a bunch of different stocks in one folder, right? And depending on how good those stocks do, when you invest, it's like you get a dividend out of all those stocks in that portfolio. So you get to make money when you keep investing with them. You understand? And then like I said, once you reach 5 Gs, you don't have to pay that maintenance fee anymore. You just saving your bread. You understand? So you get yourself in, so you could do Charles Schwab, you could do a few other ones, but why I like Vanguard is that you could start with like $1, you can start with $5, like you can start with basically nothing, and just keep building. You understand? So that's what I'm saying. You got a little job that only pays you $200 a week. Break it down 80-20, 20% goes into Vanguard. So if that's 20%, that's $40 a week going into your Vanguard. At the end of the year, you'd be surprised. On top of that, you're compounding with the performance of the economy. And right now, the economy is doing pretty good. I have a Vanguard myself, and it's performing pretty well. I mean, I ain't gonna tell y'all about my bread. Don't be watching another nigga's pockets. But anyway, so you stack your bread, and you can start this at any age. You don't got to be 18 to do it. You can start it. You just get online and start that shit, bro. Like, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? And this type of shit, a lot of niggas don't know about growing up in the hood. As long as you got a computer, you can do that shit. And then the thing with the money is that if you ever need to take out the money, which you shouldn't, but I'm just letting you know how it works. If you ever need to take out your money, you call them, and they have great customer service. You can call them 24 hours a day. Someone will answer. It's not like one of these spots where, you know what I'm saying, they won't answer. So you call them and you tell them, yo, I need to take out some money out of my shit. And then what it is, it'll be a link to your bank account. So here's what it is. You get your job, you start a bank account, then you link your bank account to your Vanguard, right? 80% you keep in your checking account, and then 80%, 20% goes to your Vanguard. You have to start now. Start as early as possible. And this is something else. This part of it, anybody could do. Any age, doesn't matter. I mean, it's better if you're younger, obviously, but hey, it is what it is. If you didn't know, you know now. So start on that shit, right? So you stacking your bread. And here's the next thing you do. You go to your parents and then you say, listen, moms, pops, I have a plan. I have a serious plan that I don't want to pay rent when I leave this house. I don't want to pay rent when I leave your house. So what I'll do is, when I'm finished with my college degree, when I'm done being, super broke like a student and shit, I will live here for a couple of years, and I'll pay you whatever. I'll pay the light bill. I'll, take out the garbage, whatever the fuck you got to do. Now, this is where the focus and the sacrifice comes in, because now you're old enough to move out, but you're still living with your parents, right? Now, some niggas will look at me like, nah, son, I can't live with my parents. My parents are annoying. But like I said, this is where the focus and the discipline and the sacrifice comes in. Now, again, this is just a suggestion, but I'm telling you it works because I've seen it. The dude that I saw with this example first, when he moved out of his parents' house, that nigga was living next to Alex Rodriguez. You hear what I'm telling you? When I went to his house, and it took fucking 10 minutes to drive from the entrance, from the street to his fucking front door. You understand me? And this is what this nigga did. But anyway, and he doubled up because he met his wife in college and they did it together. But anyway, so you go to your parents and you tell them, hey, I have a serious plan to move into something that I own when I leave this house. So if you will let me, I want to stay here for as long as I need to, and have a plan. Like, look at your money. Show them your shit. Like, show them your Vanguard. Maybe they need to start one. You never know. Show them your Vanguard. Show them your income. Show them your plan, and say, look, I'm putting away this amount of money every week or every month, and with Vanguard you can also set up automatic payments, but that's like more shit to get into. But anyway, so you let them know I have a plan. So by you know maybe 4 years from now, I will have saved at least $150,000 or $100,000 or something, right? Something to that effect, and you be like, look, that would be enough money for me to put a down payment on a condo. That would be enough money for me to put a down payment on a townhouse or a single family home, right? And what you do is try to find a decent location because there's things and strategies in the future I'm gonna explain to you. But you got to find a decent location. Find something that's not too far from a college. Find something that's not too far from a hospital. Find something that's not too far from any place where there's a concentration of people. Maybe a shopping area. Wherever you see like a Walmart, find a house near there. Wherever you see, uh, you know, a supermarket, or one of those plazas that have, supermarkets, laundry, cleaners, like look for those locations because you want to buy your first property in one of those type of locations. Why? Because that's where people have to move to. They have to move where shit is. You understand? And to get into more strategy, what you can do if you're ready to go to another state out of your parents' house, be willing to buy property in a place like Vegas or Florida or Miami or somewhere where is a destination where people like to go to. Why? Because here's the thing. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna show your parents a plan. They're gonna say, "All right, cool," and I respect you because you have a plan. Most young niggas out here don't have no fucking plan, so I respect you. So boom, chill in the house. But I'm gonna need you to pay. Show them. Be honest with your bread. Like, be like, look, based on my bread, I could afford this. All I got to do is only go out Friday night and skip Saturday night or some shit. Whatever you got to do. That's where the sacrifice, focus, and discipline comes in. But figure out a way to hold back on that bread so you can stack it and then also satisfy your parents so you could keep living there, right? Now, once you get to that point, and in the meantime, what you can also do is you can start looking. You can start looking even now. Like you could get on Zillow.com, any one of these real estate websites, get on there and start looking, just start seeing what's out there. Start seeing the prices in your state, in your neighborhood, in your city. And like I said before, if you want to move to another state, like say hey, I want to move to Brooklyn because Brooklyn is where it's at. Look in the prices because that's going to determine how long you have to stack your bread. Because nothing is impossible. It just takes time. All you have to do is decide and make it happen. Okay, boom. So they know your plan and you're looking around. Meanwhile, you're working. You understand? Like like I said, whatever it is you're doing to bring in an income, you're doing that consistently. That's what it takes. Like me, for example, at the time I had an engineering job doing this shit called CAD, computer aided drafting, which is a vocation. That's another thing too. Like there's a lot of cats out there running off to college when my niggas, there is a shortage, and I'm gonna probably do another video on this, but there's a shortage of skilled workers. And what I mean by skilled workers is contractors, niggas that could, put up sheetrock, niggas that could lay bricks, construction, electrical, you know what I mean? HVAC, and all of them joints pay crazy bread. Like a HVAC nigga, you could start off making 90. You could start off making 90, bro. So imagine you making 90 a year and you paying your parents, maybe 400, 500 in rent, or you paying the light bill or the water bill, and you stay there for a few years, stack your bread, and then you could buy a dope ass condo downtown. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. So you stack your bread, you keep it moving in that vanguard, so it keeps appreciating with that, with the 6 through. I've seen these things perform anywhere from 6 on the low end up to like 13, 14, 15% on the high end, depending on how good the economy is. I was just listening to D.L. Hughley today on YouTube, and he was talking about how the economy is actually going up right now. And as y'all, I don't know if niggas that drive, y'all see that gas is going back up. So the economy is doing a little bit better. You understand? So keep that in mind. But yeah, so you stacking your bread, you chilling with your parents, and then here's what happens. The day comes where you have enough bread to put a down payment on something and move out. Now, like I said, you have to be careful with this. Do your research, don't make no rash decisions, and don't be in a rush. Because you live with your parents. Like, they're people that you know. If hopefully you get along with them and it's cool, but take your time. Don't rush into this shit and don't buy nothing that's gonna make you broke. You understand? If you stacked 100,000, try to buy a piece of property that's like 60, because more than likely you're gonna have to paint, you're gonna have to fix up, you're gonna have to go to Home Depot and buy a bunch of shit to make it look nice, right? Because here's what it is. What's happening now is there is a big influx and a big need for Airbnbs. All right. There is a big demand for Airbnbs. Niggas don't want to stay in hotels no more. Niggas want to stay in Airbnbs. You got me? Like, cause check this out. you have nurses who are doing what they call travel assignments, right? These hospitals, the reason why the nurses is doing travel assignments is because travel assignments pay you more money because they give you extra money for your housing. So what happens is these hospitals, they search for Airbnbs in the area by the hospital and put these nurses up for 13 weeks, 14 weeks, however long the thing is. So imagine 14 weeks, that's what? That's like 3 months, almost 4 months of rent. And I know a nurse chick now who she just left her Airbnb and the next nurse was moving into that shit. And this is in Maryland. This is in Maryland, and the next nurse was moving into that shit the next day after she just left. The next day after she just left, and she was gonna hold it down for another 3 months. You understand what I'm saying? So here's what it is. You put a down payment on something, you move into it. While you're living there for a couple of years, you fix it up, right? You get marble floors, you get granite countertops, you get all of the good shit. And make sure it's good shit because what's going to happen is the overall plan is for you to live in that space for a time. And while you're living there, continue to stack your bread like how I've been saying. You understand? That's why you don't want to kill all of your money on that first property. So if you got 100, try to find something that costs 50 or 40. You understand? So you buy it, or 35, you buy it for 35 and then you spend 15 fixing it up. So then it end up costing you 50, 50, right? But you still got another 50, and maybe you could do that to another property with the other 50 that you have. Meanwhile, you're still working and you're still stacking your bread with the Vanguard mutual fund shit, right? So you're still stacking bread. Cause what I told you wasn't just a one-time thing. It becomes a lifestyle. So you understand the value of putting your money away and using these opportunities, these platforms like Vanguard, Charles Schwab, Price Waterhouse, you know what I'm saying? All these motherfuckers just to save and compound the savings on your shit. This is a lot of the shit that the dominant society does. That's what they do that we forget to do or we don't know how to do. You understand? The ignorance of our ignorance. Like we just don't, a lot of niggas just don't know about it. We think putting your money in the bank is the move. But nah, you gotta Vanguard, bro. Vanguard. Cause you'll make mad money on your money, B. Cause once you get a G in there, you coming off with, you coming off with 80 a year. You get 10,000 in there, you coming off with 800. You get 100,000 in there, you coming off with 8,000. So at the end of the year, you got 100 in there, you coming off with 100,000 and eight. You know what I'm saying? Like and you multiply your money on top, on top, on top. Like it's called compounding. Look it up. Anyway, so you move into your spot, you live in there for a few years. While you living there, you fixing it up. You fixing it up. And then you still stacking your bread. And you're managing your money to say, well, a certain amount of money I'm gonna put into this spot, and a certain amount of money I'm gonna still be stacking, and then I'm gonna still be enjoying my life. I'm by this point I will have learned how to live on a certain budget, and that's another big important thing. I'm gonna probably have to do another joint about that, about budgeting. Yeah. So then you start to look for another property. And again, because the internet makes everything local, you can choose to live in another state. Because if you're a fucking electrician, like I told you, if you look up one of these specialized skill jobs, you can work anywhere. You know what I'm saying? If you move to the south, everybody needs air conditioning. And in every state, everybody needs electricians and shit. You understand? Everybody needs plumbing. Everybody needs, like whatever, man, whatever you getting into, get into it. You don't have to go to college. And that's another way to stay out of debt. But then again, it comes back to what you're passionate about. If you're a passionate nigga about something where you need a college degree to make it happen, then go make it happen. I'm not saying no, but keep this plan in mind. Keep this, this practical method of building wealth in mind. So now you fixed up this other place. It looks dope. You know what I'm saying? Then you get on your cell phone and you take pictures of the spot, right? And you even in the meantime, and like I said, I'm talking to men and women, but I'm really talking to the men. So in the meantime, while you living there, you invite bitches over, like, talk to them, pick their brain, be like, hey, help me. I want you to help me to be a interior designer. Like, show me what I could do to like make this place look, really hot. Cause this is an investment for me. Cause I'm moving on to bigger and better things. Bitch, hey, you talk like that, she gonna want to, you know, ride on your coattails because she see that you a nigga with a plan. But that's another thing too. But it's so much in this fucking game, bro. Like, listen to me, man. Like, even if you just take away one thing, the Vanguard is a beautiful thing at whatever age. The mentality to stay home and help out your parents for a while until you actually can move into something that you own. That's another major part of the game, right? I mean, like I said, there's a big the demand for Airbnbs is growing because niggas don't want to stay at hotels no more. Hotels got too many fucking rules. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes niggas. I mean, Airbnb's got rules too, but you can at least you can search around and find the one that or you could even talk to the owner and make an exception or pay them a little extra bread so they'll let you have a party or whatever it is. But the point is, a lot of people are fucking with these Airbnbs. So you could either rent the shit out like how regular people rent it out, or you could set shit up for Airbnb. Only thing with the Airbnb is, like I said, you got to make that shit look nice. So when you put the pictures on Airbnb website or the Home Away website, check out Home Away. The competing one to Airbnb.com is HomeAway.com, just like how I said it, HomeAway.com. So check all that shit out. See what's going on out there, bro. Like, it's a lot going on, but like I said, this is a way for you. And then basically, once you do that, you rinse and repeat. You rinse and repeat, because the thing is, people move into properties and rent them out and just sit. They just live a regular ass life, and then they move. Then when the rent gets too expensive, then they move to another property. And then, I mean, look, again, this is a suggestion. If niggas don't want to fuck with it, you don't have to fuck with it. But if you a nigga that you want to start building wealth, because let me tell you something. If you do what I'm telling you to do, especially if you don't go to college and you get a specialized job, and you coming off as an electrician or an air conditioner dude making 80, 90,000 a year to start, just to start, right? In in less than a decade, by the time you 30, you could have at least two properties already set up. At least two properties already set up. And by the way, if you're in the electrical contracting field, you'll already know niggas that could help you fix your place up for the low. You understand? Because you know niggas from your job. Yo, my man do sheetrock. My man do this. My man do that. Yo, bring them niggas on. Get them niggas what they need. Get them niggas what they need. Be like, look, man, I need the spot. I need you to knock out this wall and make this space bigger, because it's gonna be the living room, and then boom, 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 and then get that other nigga that that paint it up, put some nice colors in there. And when you throw them fucking pictures up on the Airbnb website, yo, them niggas is calling. And like I said, if you do it strategically, you do it in a destination area, a place by the beach, or like I said, a place by the hospital, or a place near an army base, or a place near a college. Like, they will fuck with you. Like, parents coming to visit their kids for school, they'll fuck with the Airbnb. Even kids that's going to college, instead of staying at the dorm, they'll stay in the Airbnb. You see what I'm saying? It's real. Yeah, man. So here the basic steps. Stack your bread, put it in a mutual fund account. Stay with your parents until you have enough money to buy property. Move into that property, live in it and fix it up. Then rent that shit out or put it on Airbnb and move to another property that you buy, because you're still stacking your bread and you're still budgeting. You keep doing that, in less than a decade, you'll have at least two properties in your portfolio making you money while you still doing whatever it is you're doing as a job or your hustle or whatever. All right. So, like I said, the dude that I saw do this, he was from the dominant society, and when he moved out of his parents' house into his first home, he lived next to Alex Rodriguez on the New York Yankees. I'm talking, this was like a couple years ago, before he started fucking with Jennifer Lopez and shit. And this same dude, he was just an engineer. He didn't play baseball or no shit, and he lived next door to A-Rod. You understand? And when we went to his crib, it took us 10 minutes to drive from the fucking entrance of his property to the doorway. You understand what I'm saying? So I've seen it in action, so don't poo-poo this shit, and take the game and adjust it to your own lifestyle, whatever you want to do. But there are certain fundamental things in this that can really help you build wealth, practically speaking. As long as if you focus, like I said, do it right, think about a budget, be willing to focus, sacrifice, and have discipline. And you can still enjoy life, but just, with a budget, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, if you handle your money right, you can still do what the fuck you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because money as long as you got it coming in, it only takes time to get to where you want it to get to. So if there's a trip you want to go on, just save. It might take a couple months, but just save. And you're like, hey, now it's time for me to go on that trip. I'm going to go. Boom. If it's some clothes or sneakers or some expensive shit that you want to rock, hey, it might take a couple months or weeks, and look out for the sales and then buy that shit then. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you take the time to just kind of hold back just a little bit, you'll be able to do major shit later on. Because that's the power of bread. That's the power of compounding and, stacking your bread the right way and budgeting and being focused and having a purpose and not just out here trying to impress niggas and impress bitches and da 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 da. You understand? Impress yourself. Show yourself what you could do. Give yourself a chance to amass wealth early. So by the time you're 30, you got a portfolio of property making you money off of Airbnb or off of rentals. You understand? Like, there are rental management companies out there. Now there are Airbnb management companies out there where you give them a certain percentage and they take care of everything for you. They clean that shit. They set up the fucking the digital locks and keys and all that shit. You don't even know what's going on, but you just getting a check every month. You understand what I'm saying? From the payments from the Airbnb and all that shit. There's a company called Stay Alfred. Stay Alfred. Check them out. They're a management company for these Airbnbs. So you can see, you can just go and do some research to see what that's about. You know what I'm saying? Cause we stayed at one of those. Me and Lucario stayed at one of those, and the shit was banging. And not for nothing. That's where we got some smashy. But anyway, yeah, man. Take from the game what you will, but this is something that I learned, and this is something that I think cats should do. My money been in Vanguard for a minute. You understand? Like, so it is what it is. But yeah, man. Again, thank you guys for fucking with me. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. If you know somebody that it could help, send it to them. Share it with them. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, stay grateful. The truth is inside you. Peace.